Hi there folks, welcome back to the workshop. It's Monday, it's nearly time to go home. I just thought I'd share with you a little bit of what I did yesterday and the reasons why. So before we begin, let me explain. Last week I had a visit from Karl Kjarsgaard of the Bomber Command Museum in Canada. Now, on loan from him we have a tailwheel assembly from Halifax HR 871, which was lost in 1943 after being ditched. Now, many of the parts have been recovered, including a Rolls-Royce Merlin we have at the museum. And the tailwheel assembly is in quite good condition, except for the magnesium wheel rim, and it dissolved away. So when Karl and Andy Ward came last week, they did actually bring me a Halifax tailwheel, which is in really good condition. It was lacking its locking ring, but apart from that, and the shaft was a bit to one side, which would need rectifying. The question was asked, could we actually replace the missing rim from HR 871? So the first thing was to sort the shaft out, which, I'll be honest, I was a bit dubious about putting it in the hydraulic press to move it, because believe me, it was very, how do you say, settled in place. So let's have a look at yesterday. So as a few of you will have noticed, this shaft through the tailwheel rim was a little bit one way, and I'm having to straighten it so it's central. So what I need is 2 inches from that bottom washer to the end of the shaft, and we're at 3 inches. So let's now this is a 20-ton press, and there's currently just over 4 tons sat on that. Let's there she flies. So now we just need to get that shaft end to 2 inch, and that rim's ready to build up. So, here's my tape measure. One moment. You can see there, we're slowly getting there. It did go up to 12 tons originally to make it move. The joys of having a workshop with some equipment, folks. Right, what we're at now? Just under 2.5. So I'll get this shaft back where it originally was. And then I'll show you the finished result. So as you can see, we now have a central shaft. I'll get rid of the mucky fingerprints and things shortly. So that is the outer rim that will slide on there, and that is the locking ring from HR 871. The rim may have dissolved, but the locking ring was wrapped around there, which is rather handy. So I'm going to give this locking ring a clean up, and then we'll slide the rim together. So I've just given the original lock ring from HR 871 a quick whiz over on the wire wheel on the bench grinder. So now we can put it together. So I've just slid the rim over to onto the main rim. We have a locking ring that splits. So, get it to go on first. It seems in place. Not sure how far that's meant to go flush. And there we have it. That's in place. Rim built up. So after yesterday's efforts, we have a tailwheel rim with a central shaft and its locking ring in place, which you can actually see it in there, and it fits in that groove. There are some numbers on it. Sadly, the bearings are seized up. We have a number there, and some more there, and another one there. I've been told it's from a Halifax. It does have the same shaft as that one. So, before we go on, say hello to the crew, the Phillips crew. There they are, stood in front of Halifax HR 871. It's a shame the photo didn't show the tail wheel, because this is the tail wheel and oleo complete, and this is on loan from the Bomber Command Museum in Canada. Now, I've been asked if we can fit this rim to that oleo with that tyre on it. Now, I've asked the crew to see what they think, see if they give it their blessing, maybe a bit of good luck. There's a lot of corrosion, as you can see, but when you look, the shaft comes out this way, held in place by this cross bolt. You can see the holes on there. But there's a lot of corrosion on there. I don't think WD-40 really would do much. However, I suppose we could sacrifice the shaft to make things a little bit easier. We can cut bolts off, we can drill things, but it just, I don't know, it's one of those, do I do it or not, folks? I mean, there's a good chance that this is the valve cap, which still unscrews. And if you look in there, folks, I don't know if you can see that, it'll focus, you can still see the Curator valve in there, and that actually still works. The inner tube actually does feel very, very good for its age. It feels, well, to be fair, it feels like one that's in use now. The tyre is a very solid rubber, so we wouldn't have to put much air in it for it to hold its own weight, because it would be nice to actually display this in its correct orientation, stood up, give some scale of how big the Halifax bomber was. So folks, it's not going to happen straight away, because I want to get the Merlin engine preserved in the right way up. But what do you think, folks? Tell me below. Do you think the crew would give me their blessing and say, go for it, change the tail wheel rim? Or do you think that's no, not worth the risk? Let me know in the comments, folks. So, just a short video from me. Just thought I'd let you see what I've been up to. And should we attempt the rim change? I mean, I think it'd look absolutely awesome being fitted and sort of stood back up as it should. Others may disagree. Is it worth the hassle of trying to get that steel from the aluminium? You know, the struggle is real. So folks, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing and all that jazz. I'll catch you in the next one.